Hi everyone, I'm about to show you how to unbox and assemble your Bounti Spring Studio Pro. Now this is one of my favorite rebounders because it is one of our most rugged rebounders. We've had customers and clients have this for years and they're rebounding on it every day, no complaints. Incredible rebounder. Why? Well, number one is take a look at it. It folds in half, so you can travel with it. The difference between the bifold and the spring is that the bifold's a lighter rebounder, and bifolds are generally rebounders for people that have another rebounder. So you want to throw it quickly into the car, you want to move it around the house. It's a great augment to a deluxe or a pro, right? But this is an incredible rebounder. This will go everywhere you want to go, folds in half. You can check it in from a luggage perspective when you get to the airport. And it's one of those that just keeps on going and keeps on giving. It's an incredible rebounder. So let me show you what you get in the box. You're obviously going to get it in the box, half moon, like that. You've got washers. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8 washers. And the purpose of those washers, I'll show you this in a second, is if you are on an uneven surface. So if you're rebounding and the floor underneath you is a little bit wobbled, we give you the ability with these washers to put these washers into the feet of the rebounder to extend it slightly downward so it touches the ground. So you don't have that wobble. So it removes the element of a wobble because not all surfaces are even. Okay, so if you have a slight centimeter or so gap between one of the legs or a couple of the legs, those washers are really useful to make sure that the rebounder reaches down to those points and you have a stable bounce. So when you get this rebounder in the box, important, very important, before you unfold this rebounder, you'll notice that the flaps in it are folded inward and downward. So before you're going to unfold this rebounder and fold it outward, you want to make sure that these straps you're lifting up and over. So you want to make sure that that's really not catching onto anything. So this is part of the spring, which I'll show in a second, but you want to lift the skirt up and over. Okay, let me just show that again. So you're going to get in the box and the teeth pointing out here, these 2 little silver teeth on either end, you want to make sure that the skirt is lifted up and over that, and down there, up and over, and down there. These flaps, the purpose of these little flaps on either side is once you've unfolded the rebounder is to protect you from the joints over there. So I'll show you in a second how it folds over and protects and hides away the joints. Okay, so make sure that you follow the following very carefully, and this is when I'm unfolding it, right? So the spring rebounder, mat, springs, sometimes in the box, one of the springs may come loose and you just have to reattach it. That can happen, although highly unlikely. Also, just before I unfold it, you'll notice in the box we give you a little tube, a little tub, and in this little tub is some grease. And you apply this grease with a little earbud to each one of these areas where the spring connects to the frame. So each one of these little outcrops here, these little connectors that come out of the frame, you want to be putting grease right there in that little joint and making sure, because that's kind of where the noise will occur over time. Okay, if you put a little bit of grease in that, it deadens the sound of your spring. And people say they've got the spring and the bungee cords a little bit louder. Well, that's just because you didn't grease your springs. If you grease your springs, this rebounder can be as silent as a bungee cord rebounder. Okay, let's do this. So careful, flaps out and down and away. Else, what could happen is when you unfold this rebounder, the joints could bite into the skirt. You don't want that to happen. So I'm going to lay it flat on the floor. Make sure you don't have anything in your purview, anything that's going to interrupt you or anything that's going to get in your way. You're going to lift this up, and my suggestion is you're putting your toes on the frame. You'll notice my toes are on the frame, and then you lean in. Very simple. Keep your fingers away. Lean in with your palms. You're putting your palms on the frame, your feet are on the frame on the other end, and you're leaning down and over. Very simple. Boom. Just be careful of your fingers. That's why I said on your palms. Be careful of your fingers. Make sure the surface is flat. Now, when you get it, notice the legs. Legs are folded in. It's a really cool rebounder because you don't have to screw the legs out. There's no Allen key. It's all still connected. But one of the elements of the legs of a spring is the fact that the leg itself is connected via spring mechanism inside the leg. So if you take a look here, you'll see this leg as a little spring. So this leg connector it's connected. Don't pull your legs too far away, because if you do, that can happen, which could be a safety thing, but over time you could actually bend that spring. So don't pull it too far away. You just want to pull it far away enough so you're lifting it up and flipping it on. How cool is that, right? Little flap. I'm just going to take these off, these little rubber bands. Take that, flicking that on. I told you, this is my favorite rebounder. It's so cool, so simple. Boom, flicks on, flicks on, a little bit of rubber band on. Now, these little rubber bands, don't just throw them away. I do suggest that you store them someplace, because in time, when you do take one of the legs off and down again, you do want to have one of these rubber bands that just goes around the bull horn, one of these spikes that connect the springs to the mat, and you're just keeping that leg from pushing up when you're traveling, when you're packing it away. It's really cool. So keep these safe in a little bag or wherever. Okay, again, lift that up and over. You're taking that off and over. And you're done. I mean, how cool is that? Simple as that. Flick your little rebounder around, the Bounti Studio spring, and the flaps. Again, you'll see some Velcro aspects to the flaps. Here's the joint. You want to just take that and put that over neatly on these little Velcro straps. Boom, you're good to bounce on your brand new spring. 120 kilograms or less. Anything north of 120 kilograms, you have to look at our Studio, our Deluxe, okay, our Bounti Deluxe rebounder. That's the one for you, but up to 120 kilograms, incredible spring. I mean, the general retailer rebounders that you find out there just don't have the same spring quality, the same bounce and feel. This is good for your body. Anything else is not good for your body. It can actually harm your body, but our springs are incredible. So, when people buy this rebounder, they get the standard skirt with it. Some folks want to, for lack of a better term, pump their ride. So if you want to do that, we've got a kaleidoscope of options, and I've just got one of them here. This has got the Protea print on it, but this is a little half moon bag. So when you're folding your spring in half, you can flick it into one of these bags and carry it on. Pretty cool. Flick it over your shoulder and you're good to go with your spring in the bag. Now, besides just packing it away, we also have the exact same flaps that you see over there, protecting the skirt, etc. Right? You can take that skirt off and apply this one all the way around. And you can color code them. There's different prints and you can go wild. Okay, now, when you disassemble it and you want to fold it back up again now that it's out, right? Same process. So you want to take that off and pull that away on that end. You want to take this up and over. Okay, just make sure that those little flaps are out of the way. Okay? You want to take the legs off. Legs come off. Fold them down. And I'll show you this in a second. What I generally do is I keep one leg on the other side when I'm folding it up and over. Okay. Put your legs down, and you want to take one of these legs and then just fold it up and over. Then you want to take this leg out, fold it down, and boom. Now, what you should actually be doing when you're folding it, let me just show you that again. So I'm going to bring it back over. Then folding it up and over, flicking it down, fingers up in the air. Okay, when you fold all the legs, you want to keep one leg. So these go down. You want to take these little cords, especially if you're traveling. You want to tie them all down. Keep one leg up. Makes it a whole lot easier when you're folding it back up again. So how do you fold it back up? Very simple. Put your feet on the frame, lean over, joints on either side over there. You're on this side. You're literally going to take a leg and just flick it up and over. And you take that down, pull that around. Off you go with your little spring rebounder all ready to be packaged. Okay. Again, protect these, putting them under, pulling that up, putting it under, and it's just like it was when you got it in the box. Incredible rebounder, very simple. Legs pull up, And again, remember I told you about the feet. So let me just show you that in a second. Again, just a quick fold out. Notice how simple this rebounder is. Make sure you're doing it, not your kids. Washers, should you be in an uneven surface, take the leg off, flick the washers into the leg. Simple, put it back on. And now your leg has about 0.5 centimeter of additional height so it touches the ground. Simple as that. Take it off, washers come back out, and you can go back down again. Cool rubber feet all the way around. Yeah. That's the Bounti spring rebounder. My favorite rebounder in our entire stable of rebounders, simply because of its simplicity, its ruggedness, its ability to go anywhere at any time with you. And the assembly and disassembly of this rebounder is extremely simple. Just careful, it's got lots of parts that are hardened because it's so rugged. It's got lots of parts that are quite hardened. There you go. That's your Bounti Studio Spring. Enjoy.